Good morning, everybody. We just wanted to check in with everyone and give you a quick update. First, let me get away from my obnoxiously loud refrigerator. Though I love my refrigerator, it still works. It's just loud. Right, Fufu? There's Miss Finn. She's chilling on the floor there. Yeah. And Mama Maggie under the chair. And that's Miss Willow. She's getting very grown up. She's tall compared to the other kitties. But unfortunately, we do have some bad news. We lost 3 out of the 7 babies over the past 2 weeks. Unfortunately, Loki did not recover from his illness, and he passed away. Stanley also had a terrible upper respiratory infection. He did his antibiotics. Everything seemed good. And then one morning, we just found him passed away. So that was pretty sad. And then that's out of Phoebe's kids. So Phoebe lost 2. And Maggie lost 1. Unfortunately, we lost Crash. Not sure what happened. She was fine 1 minute, playing, running, having a grand old time. And curled up, went to sleep. And then later that afternoon, I was like, hey, I haven't seen Crash again. And I found her in the exact same position that she went to sleep in. So, sad, but on the good side, everybody passed in their sleep. So, some of them just couldn't overcome whatever their illnesses were. Crash, I suspect, probably had something to do with the head injury that we couldn't see going on inside. But at least they were happy and loved. So, it is what it is. Right, Alex? Say, but it's okay. It happens that way sometimes. Right, boo-boo? It happens. Sometimes you do the very best you can. And it just doesn't work. But we've still got Miss Willow. And we've got Miss Sassy Little Gigi down there. And we've got Gandalf, who likes to lounge on top of there. And we still have Chunky Monkey, who has now put a lot of weight back on. He was the next one I was worried about because he had the same kind of thing Loki did. But he is nice and Chunky Monkey all over again, so he's going to be okay. Yeah, so those are the 4 that are left, but at least the 4 that are left are doing great. So we're just going to be grateful for what we have, and we will move on. Right, guys? Yeah. And then in the window, we've got Alex, and Sylvester is hanging out. And then outside, you can see in the box outside, that's one of the strays that comes around. I call her Miss Honey. She's not quite feral anymore. I can pet her now, which is really good. I've been feeding her for about, 6 months now, since early winter. So, she'd been hanging around. She showed up a little bitty thing, but she wouldn't really come in, and the others really didn't like her. The one time she did venture in the house, the others kind of ganged up on her to beat her up, which is not a reaction they normally have, because they're used to me rescuing. So they usually just look at me like, Jesus, Mom, another one, But with her, for some reason, they all went like whip shit. So I'm like, okay. Unfortunately, Miss Honey will have to be rescued outside, because for whatever reason, they do not like her. But she's a very sweet kitty. Bless you. Everybody's sneezing. We've had a lot of wildfire smoke around. And me and all the cats are sneezing. And Mr. Felix is still with us. He's outside, though. He doesn't like the baby, so he stays out there. But that's him right there. He's still good. In good shape. He's a happy kitty. He likes outside anyway. And that's Pete. There's Pete Loaf walking up the walkway there. And he comes in sometimes. He'll stay in for a little while until he gets annoyed and he can't take the babies anymore, and then he disappears again. Right, Gandalf? Yeah, Gandalf is doing good, but I think Gandalf has an upper respiratory infection because everybody else has got sneezies, but they don't got junk coming out of their face. Now, he's got sneezies too, but he's starting to get junk coming out of his face, so he's probably going to wind up at the vet this week to get some antibiotics. Because it's a little bit different when they start blowing green snot, right? Just like us. Say everybody can sneeze from time to time, but when you start oozing stuff, then it's bad news bears. We don't want that. So, but everybody else is doing great. Miss Finney is good. The mommas are good. I'm not even sure where Miss Phoebe is. Miss Phoebe is very angry at me right now because she has gone into heat again. So, obviously, I'm not letting either mama out until I get them fixed because I am never going through this again after what I went through this time. I don't remember the kitten thing being quite as much work as it's been this time, and a lot of worry and a lot of heartache. I guess I was lucky in the past that I had kitties that were, didn't have any problems. But now I know that's not the norm. I was just lucky. So this time, unfortunately, I had a batch that had nothing but health problems. And it happens that way sometimes. So, where are you, Miss? Let me turn my light on. Sorry, my bed is a mess. She's probably under the bed. She goes under there sometimes to sleep. But anyway, so Phoebe's around somewhere. And she's doing wonderful, though. She's just angry and hormonal right now, but she'll be okay. She waits until, fortunately all my guys are neutered, so I don't have to worry about it, but she doesn't realize that. So when she sees Alex or she sees Pete or, well, she doesn't care about Sylvester. Usually Sylvester beats the hell out of her, so they avoid each other. But when she sees Alex and Pete, she turns it on, you know, with the rolling and the chirping and the murping and the look at how cute I am, you know, sexy cat dance that they do when they're in heat. And they just step over her and keep walking. And she looks at me very confused, like, hey, wait a minute. I'm like, honey, they don't care. It's like those commercials about Shingles, right? Shingles doesn't care. Neither do they. They don't care. Right, Foo-Foo? Said all the boys in here don't care if your milkshake brings other boys to the yard. They don't care. They are totally not interested. So, the biggest challenge we're facing now is Gigi, who is turning out to be a sassy little handful, because not only does she insist on standing on the cable box and trying to chew on the cords, like she's doing now, which I will stop her in a moment, but she also, for whatever reason, refuses to use a litter box. Well, now you got Chunk doing it. What are you doing? But in her defense, she always goes directly to the puppy pads, and she always returns back to the same place. So I do give her credit. She is not just messing all over the house. But for whatever reason, she is refusing to use litter boxes. So she might be one of those cats that wants to have her own space to go in, which would make total sense. However, when you have 10 cats running around, not possible. Or she might just not like the litter. So I've tried the corn litter and I've tried the clay litter in a couple of different brands, scented, not scented, blah, 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 coarse, fine. And she will have none of it. So my last resort is going to be, I think they have like crystals or something. I have to research it again. There's one I saw that was like little, I don't know if they were like silicone crystals or whatever. And another one that's like pellets. But the only drawback to those is they're not clumping, right? So you scoop the poop, but when they pee, it just absorbs it, and that's fine. But then, of course, it'll smell, and you got to dump the whole box, like, I don't know, once a week. Or sooner, depending on how bad it smells. And put all fresh new stuff in there, which is kind of a pain in the ass to do. But I suppose if it's a small box, dumping it and starting fresh won't be so bad. Or she might be one of those cats that just for whatever reason never takes to a litter box. But as long as she's good on a puppy pad, I think she'll be okay. That's the main worry, is we don't want them just going to the bathroom wherever they please. And so far, nobody's doing that. Let me sit down here. So far, everybody has been very good boys and girls. They know where to go, and they go there. So I guess in the long run, I can't complain, because they's good babies. Chunk's eye is doing wonderful. The fur around his eyes looks like hell, because he's been sneezy with allergies, and I guess they get, I don't know if you'd call it staining from the tears. He hasn't had goop, so his eyes haven't been stuck shut or anything. They just water. And it's turning all the fur around his eyes kind of off-white brownish, so he looks like hell, but he's doing great. So I wash it twice a day. I get a cotton ball with some warm water, and I just try to wipe around his face, which he gets increasingly annoyed at. Uh-oh, are you okay? You shouldn't be playing up there anyway. We're going to put a stop to that when this video is over. Yeah, no playing around wires. Remember that? Number 1 rule. No playing around wires, Chunky. He scared me half to death the other day because he showed up limping, and I thought to myself, oh shit, what now? And it turned out he just had pulled a claw. Hi, yeah, your face is a mess. No, we don't run the whatever the hell that's called. Oil mist, essential oils, whatever you want to call it. We haven't been running that because we don't know if that's what's making them sneezy, so I've been not using as many cleaners with scents and sprays just in case anybody has allergies. But it doesn't seem to be making a difference. They're still kind of sneezy, so I'm guessing maybe it's just the smoke and stuff in the air. It could be the litter dust, because we do have 11 litter boxes, right, Willow? 11! And Gigi still pees on the pad. 11 litter boxes, Gigi. 11. But that's okay. Right, Mama Maggie? Yeah. That's my Gigi. Feisty little girl. She's got murder mittens. Bless you. What you doing? What you doing, Miss Gigi? She loves to wrestle with Chunk. If I hear all kinds of racket in the middle of the night, 9 times out of 10, it's Gigi and Chunk wrestling somewhere. Yeah. So despite the sneezies, everybody is eating great. And they're playing like crazy. And they're getting into everything and aggravating me, which means they're completely normal kittens. So I caught Chunk climbing the curtains the other day. I caught Gigi trying to climb up the screen on the inside of the window when I had it open. So, yeah, everybody's normal. That's what kittens do, right? That's what they do. Right, Alex? Alex can't wait until the kittens are gone. He spends most of his time in my room. And he looks pretty depressed, to be honest. So, I feel kind of bad. So, pretty soon, good boy, Chunky Monkey. See, Chunky knows where the litter boxes are. He's a good boy. Yeah, I know, the curtain is in a bad spot. We'll have to move that. Let's see, we'll move that over, won't we, Chunky? Yeah. What you doing, monkey face? And Mama still inspects. They're just about done nursing now. I hardly see Phoebe nurse at all. And I rarely see Maggie nurse. So I'm thinking, let's see, this is July 2nd. They'll be 3 months, Phoebe's gang will be 3 months old on July 17th. And Maggie's gang will be 3 months old on July 27th. So I am thinking, I know kittens can be fixed as early as 2 months. Technically, some places have told me anyway. But the vet that I see prefers them to be a certain weight for the anesthetic, which I agree with. And they like to wait till they're 4 pounds, I think it is. And we'll see. The last time I weighed everybody, they were doing good, but they were still like between 2 and 3. So I think one more month. One more month, right, monkeys? One more month, and then I think you'll be at a good spot. Because we know that you can start getting pregnant at 4. Or sometimes earlier, depending on the kitten. Because you guys are breeding machines, and we have to shut those machines down. Because we don't want this again. Yeah. We don't want this again. I love you guys, but I don't want this again. Excuse me. I am not your chew toy. Mr. Chunky Monkey. Sylvester's in one of his moods where he just wants to antagonize Maggie, so. Poor thing can't even pee without him trying to. And it's not amorous, you know, he's not like a mating thing or anything like that. He just doesn't like it when she's near the food. He doesn't like it when she's near a certain litter box. It's like he goes into territorial overload and he just tries to smack the hell out of her. So I don't know. I don't know why he does what he does. He's a lunatic. We knew that from the get-go. That's the other reason I don't want kittens ever again, because Sylvester's a lunatic and a demon, and I did not realize how bad until I had to constantly separate and watch, because one minute he's fine, and the next minute he's like on the rampage trying to beat the hell out of everybody, which is... I don't want to have to put up with that. So we are not doing the kitten thing ever again. Right? And I'm sure the next time I have kittens, I'll play that video back of me saying never again. Are you running out of steam, Willow? Willow's been wide open since about 6 o'clock this morning, so it's about 8:30, so now I think she's ready to recharge the battery. Yeah. Everybody's been running since about 6 o'clock this morning. They started jumping on my head at 5. Get it, Gigi. So, I expect everybody to start crashing here soon. What you doing, Miss Gigi? Gigi has a definite love of ropes, wires. She's the only one I really have to watch. Everybody else has been pretty good, but she is the one I have caught trying to chew on my phone cord, trying to chew on the cable cords, trying to chew on the supply line to the toilet, trying to chew on the toys that I got. She bit the string in half. So I'm like, alright, we'll get some different type of toys. Right, Sylvester? Are you done being a bully now? That's Gandalf. You be nice to Gandalf. He's a good little boy. He's my little wizard. For the longest time, he had a little tuft of hair on his chin. It looked like a little beard. And he was all gray, so I used to jokingly refer to him as Gandalf the Gray, and then it just kind of stuck. Right, Willow? Luckily, Sylvester seems to be okay with the babies now. He was doing really good with Maggie for a while there when she had the babies with her. They were even eating in the same area. I was so happy. And now he's back to bullying and chasing her and stressing her out. So I'm like, okay. It is time to think about getting the mommas spayed once they're done nursing, and I'm sure they're not in heat. And we'll get them fixed And then after they heal, they can go back outside. Right, Miss Maggie? Back on the other side there, I think. Oh, that's Fufu. Miss Finny. And it'll be like, once you're fixed, girls, you can go back out. And if you never want to see me again, I'm 100% okay with it. As long as I know that wherever you go, you're not making more. Right? See, that's the problem. If people would just trap, neuter, and release, you feed the cats that are there, they live a happy life, and then when they're done, they're done. And you don't have an exponentially bigger problem of feeding more and more and more and more and more, right? Right, Willow? Because even though you're cute, you stay cute your whole life, but you don't stay cute and tiny your whole life. And some people forget that. So they get a kitten thinking how cute, and then when it's a grown-up cat, for some reason, they don't think it's cute. I don't know. I think you guys stay cute, but, you know, you're just a cuter version of what you already are. This is their latest thing they like. I have a little plastic tray. It's made for kids, but you knock it over. But it comes in really handy when you want to eat something sitting in the chair. It's a nice little table for writing or, you know, anything like that. And it turns out they love to play on it. They knock it over on its side like they just did, and they make like, it's like a fort. One will hide behind it like Willow's doing there. And they'll jump at each other over the table. Under the table and over the table. It's a big game to them. So I'm like, well, you know what? If it makes you happy, go for it. It's a table, so if you get junk on it, all I gotta do is wipe it with a Clorox wipe and we're good. Right? Say I'm not gonna go out and spend more money on fancy cat toys when you guys are perfectly happy knocking over a $5 plastic table. Go for it then. You guys are funny. You guys are silly. I did get them that fish toy, though, which they seem to really enjoy. Yeah. That's your little Weeble Wobble toy. They love these things. They chase the balls around in circles. Sorry, my hand got in there. I have the orange one over there that my guys love. The adults even still play with it. And I have caught the mommas playing with this several times. Chunk's trying to get Gigi's tail. I know, she's hard to see against the couch, isn't she, honey? You guys are so silly. Chunk is somewhere in between playing and falling asleep. Willow and Gigi definitely have the most energy out of the group. And then Chunk has a lot of energy, and then Gandalf is... He's always been kind of reserved. He's like the little old man on the mountain. He's sleeping right now. He's a sleepy kitty. But he was running around like crazy for hours and hours. So I expected him to conk out. Just like you guys are going to probably here in the next half hour or so. Right? See, they just keep going till their battery runs out. Hi, Mama. Mama Maggie. Willow can't decide which toy she likes better. What's up, Mama Maggie? What happened, Chunk? Did she just leave? She just left you, didn't she? Oh, excuse me, you're going to start cleaning. Well, that's good. Very glad to see that everybody's bathing themselves now. I don't have to clean up Chunk's poopy butt anymore. He does it himself. And he doesn't have a mess anymore. The more solid food he started eating, the more that problem worked itself out. So he's doing great now. Everybody's eating their kitten food. And they're all doing great. What are you doing, Chunky Monkey? Hope he's gonna get her. She's gonna get your tail, Mama. That's one of their favorite toys. We hear that going all night long. Willow just ran down the hallway to the bedroom, so that's her choice spot of sleeping. Much to Alex's dismay, Alex hates the babies, but Willow waits till he's sleeping and she curls up next to him, which I think is adorable. Right, Alex? Is that what happened? Was Willow looking for you? I think she has a crush on you. Yeah. What you think, buddy? Okay then. Well, we just wanted to check in and give everybody an update. So, at least everybody that's left is doing good. Ow, 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 ow. What the? I should have known. Alex says, you've been on the phone entirely too long. Alex, be nice to Gandalf. No smacking the babies. Licking your paw like you weren't doing anything. Bastard. It's a good thing I love you. Yeah. Now there you go. The Blue Jays are outside. Why don't you go to the window and watch the Blue Jays with Sylvester? Yeah. But that's a good boy. My tuxedo brothers. Okay, guys. I hope everybody has a good rest of the weekend and have a safe and happy 4th of July. I will be spending it inside when everybody's shooting off fireworks. I usually just put some music on kind of loud and close all the windows. And it kind of helps stop them from freaking out quite so bad. I see, seems like if I go around the house, business as usual, with some loud music on, they don't seem to get as freaked out, you know. I think sometimes they kind of look to us and they're like, all right, well, if Mom's not freaking out, then I think it's okay, you know. So kind of like if you keep your everyday routine, you know, keep everything nice and calm, then I think they kind of follow suit to the most part. I mean, there are certain noises that still spook them, but the same thing I noticed goes with the thunderstorms. We had a pretty big thunderstorm yesterday, and I just closed the window, you know, put the TV on and started wiping down countertops and stuff like that, and they were a little freaked out, but they kept looking at me, you know, and I just kept saying, it's all right, you know, it's just a storm. It's just a storm. It was loud thunder, too. I was like, it's a storm. It's okay. It'll pass. And I noticed they all kind of, like, calmed down a little bit. So I think they take some of their cues from us. Right? When they see us panic, then they'll panic. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, I hope everybody has a safe and happy 4th of July. And I hope anybody else out there with pets or kids that are not happy with fireworks, I hope the fireworks aren't too bad where you are. Bless you. Yeah. So we'll see you guys later then.